if I attack and I want to throw a reverso, that is, I want to cut from my upper left and target either his arm, his head, his shoulder, something over there on that side, that's a little bit of a safer side for me. It's a bit safer to go over here for me. And you see my angle. I didn't move my left foot so that I'm going right here into this. I stepped over here at an angle. One more thing is, when I throw a reverso, this being a direct attack, I'm going to show that as little as possible. I don't want to telegraph a direct attack. I want to succeed at it. I'm not going to chamber this and throw a reverso. Boom. I will not lift my hand over my shoulder. That is showing way too much. What I'll do is, like you've seen previously, I'll throw that with my wrist. So I'll turn my palm down, keeping my sword in front of myself. So there's your attack as the agent, the first actor. Now, you still might be saying to yourself, well, that's kind of a risky thing to do. That's not a very good attack. And you're absolutely right. It isn't a good attack, and it's not the kind of thing that we would do. Dall'agocchie shows us and has a section entitled how to safely offend or attack people from this guard. And doing that is not one of those techniques. But it is something that people do. We don't directly attack people without in some way making that safer for ourselves by beating that blade, by provoking them into some other thing, by misdirecting them, misleading them in some way to give ourselves a tempo to safely attack. So do keep that in mind, that as I'm doing this, what am I doing as the attacker here? I'm giving him something to practice against, but what I'm not doing is I'm not training myself how to attack someone in this guard. What I'm showing you, what I'm demonstrating is a rather foolish attack that we don't generally do. And yes, I try to attack him exactly why this is a horrible idea. But guess what? Will people do that to you? Oh yeah, they'll do it anyway. So expect, when you come in for sparring, expect direct attacks like that, because, you know, it takes a while to work that out of your system until you're fencing properly. Okay. One more thing, especially if you're a little bit new to us, the very first thing you do, you're focusing on how well you're standing, how correctly and naturally you're positioning yourself, and what else? What do you do with your eyes? You watch the hand of your opponent. They repeatedly stressed that so often that you really can't ignore that advice. So by keeping my eyes on his hand, I can follow what he's doing and I can respond appropriately. Don't fall into the trap of only fighting from this position. That's one thing I would caution everybody against. The Bolognese fencing system has a wide range and variety of guards, and this is one. Even if you look at dall'agocchie, it breaks it down into 5, really recommending 5 starting guards. And others increase that number from there. But even if you look at just the 5, it's still 5 guards. And half the time you'll spend with your left foot forward. So don't fall into that trap of just being so comfortable and secure in this guard that you never really move out of it. Spend some time with your left foot in front. That's very important. That's how you can distinguish a Bolognese fencer versus somebody who isn't, or somebody who says they are, but really still isn't. This hand should not be up here at all. This hand's down here. So on the inside of your knee, as low as possible. Don't bend your elbow. Just keep that straight. Keep this close to yourself. Your front foot points forward. So does your back foot. if you are looking toward Morozzo as a guide, it's not only the front foot pointing forward, but so does the rear foot. All your weight's on your front foot. Forward weighted guard. Your feet should be comfortably spaced, not too wide, not too narrow. So if you get attacked on your outside here, that could be to your shoulder, your head, you're going to do this. You're going to hit that with your true edge. Now, when you do that, make sure it's in your forte. Turn your shoulders, make some percussion of it, hit it, and from here, there's two options. First option, turn your hand and strike the face. Very simple. Now, you know what, I'm not moving my feet. I don't have to. He's supplying all the range and coming toward me. 1, 2. That happens very fast. Be careful with your partner. Hit it with your true edge in your forte. Make sure it's in your forte. Hit it over here, and then simply strike the face with a mandrito, and you'll find yourself back in the original guard. 1, 2, and that's the first option. Make sure you've got the right guard. Porta di Ferro Stretta, like I said, it's not up here, it's not high, it's low. Your hand, now, you will see differing accounts based upon which master. We're really dealing with a guard that closes the inside line. That is the hand to the inside of the knee with the true edge turned toward your left. But this should be pointed to face. So here's your guard. He tries to hit me. 1, 2. And I resume the original guard. Let's practice. Idea here is, so you parry without a trace of reverso. Here, it's a parry by mezza volta in the forte, and it is percussive. He says to hit his reverso with your true edge and then strike, cut or slice his face with a mandrito. I don't step forward because I don't need to, but there is some body movement when I hit that with my true edge. I will put the body into that. That allows me to then put the body into the mandrito as well. I turn into the parry that lets me turn into the cut. It's really being driven by that rear foot pivoting on the ball of the foot, which rudders the hip and shoulder. So there's your body mechanics. If you feel that after having made that true edge parry, that it's an easier option to hit the face with an imbrocata, you simply do that. You should wear a helmet if you have one handy. If you don't, that's always my first recommendation. If you don't, you have to go as slow as I did right there. You have to slow down and don't hit anyone in the face here. But that's the technique. Hit it with your forte, knock it away from yourself, and in that moment, bring your point down. You saw I have a little raise there. But here's the thing. Be aware. If I'm hitting it with the déballé, if I strike a reverso with my déballé, where's my point going to go? Offline. It's going to go past the face, out of alignment. So if I have hit too much with the front part of my sword, my point's over here too far, and it's going to take a long time too long to bring it back to his face. So, but if I parry with this, as I'm supposed to, where's my point? If I parry with that, where's my point? Right at his face. All I have to do is twist it in. So keep that in mind, that you shouldn't be flinging your tip much past the face of your opponent. I can hit with my forte and my point stays right at the face. All I have to do is lift a bit and plunge it into the face, and that always ends back in Porta di Ferro Stretta. So wait for it, parry and into the face, immediately and you're done.